Hello everyone and welcome to Where's the Popcorn? I'm your host Simon Poole and today I'm going to talk about Madam Web, which ironically CinemaSins has, right as I'm saying this, posted a video about it on their YouTube channel not that long ago, but you know, whatever I guess.
Okay, press charge.
Am I having a heart attack? I think I'm having a heart attack.
I'm not gonna have a heart attack. Okay, get ready. Get it close to the ceiling. Nobody touch the sides or anything. Ready?
Okay, yep.
Wait. Now! Sorry.
Are you okay? You okay?
You okay?
Okay.
Now you're showing off. Maybe a little.
I thought I'd watch Madam Web because I thought that it couldn't be as bad as people say it is, can it? And to be honest, I don't think it is. But first, just a little rant because I'm a little confused. Is this part of Sony's non-Spiderman Spider-Man universe? Is there a universe? What are we doing here, Sony? Now that I'm asking these questions, it makes me think, did they ever say there was a universe here? Now I'm questioning my sanity. This is the first non-Spiderman Spider-Man movie I've seen. I'm only slightly aware of some things in the Venom movies and Morbius. I know Morbius mentions Venom in his movie by saying, "We're Venom," or something like that, but I heard that the Vulture from the MCU Spider-Man Homecoming is in Morbius, right? But Venom appears in MCU's Spider-Man No Way Home at the end, which turns out he's from a different universe. But the only reason Venom is in the MCU is because he and everyone who come from a different universe knows that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. How does Venom know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker when there seems to be no mention of Peter Parker in Venom's universe? I think. But now with Venom The Last Dance, there's rumors of there being a 10-year-old Peter Parker appearing in it, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't become Spider-Man at 10. Also, the Morbius trailer showed a poster of Spider-Man with the word murderer written on it, and how Spider-Man No Way Home, was it, ended? Or the one before that, Homecoming, that's it, ended. He did, air quotes, murder Mysterio. There's also been rumors that Tom Holland's Peter Parker is the same one in Madam Web, or maybe even Andrew Garfield's or Tobey Maguire's are, but Madam Web is set in 2003, so it can't be any of them. And back to the Venom Last Dance trailer for a bit. Race Evans, I think that's how it's pronounced, was the lizard in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and No Way Home, right? Well, he's in Venom 3, but probably not as the lizard, and someone I can't pronounce his real name, so sorry on that, but he played Mordo in Doctor Strange. He's also in Venom 3, and his character is a military guy who seems to be an antagonist to Venom, but doesn't seem to be Mordo. And at the end of No Way Home, when Venom disappeared and went back to his universe, he left behind a bit of symbiotic goo at a bar that Venom was drinking at. We see the same bar and goo in the Venom 3 trailer from the MCU, where not Mordo, ends up capturing it in a jar thing. How? Is he Mordo? Did this maybe Mordo find out about this goo? Collect it, try to find the source and hunt Venom in the non-Spiderman Spider-Man universe thing? Is this bar like the one in that one episode of What If that can be attended by multiversal people? Did Sony ruin the next MCU Spider-Man? Was the next MCU Spider-Man going to have the symbiote in it? So there you have it. That's the Sony non-Spider-Man Spider-Man universe in a nutshell. I hope that helped and we're all caught up. Now let's go back to discussing Madam Web. But seriously, I think everything I said is probably the main reason why Madam Web didn't do well, but I have a few other theories of why I think it failed. Some people seem to blame the fact that Madam Web having women leads is why the movie did bad. I don't think that's the case. You have the Barbie movie that sort of proved that theory wrong. Why? Because it has, a woman lead. That movie, by the way, is still on my need-to-watch list. So there could be more to it than that. The story of Madam Web is that the character, Madam Web, can see into the future. In saying that, it made me think if this movie would do well if it wasn't a superhero movie, or at least tied down to a Spider-Man-esque movie, which reminded me of a movie called Next, starring Nicolas Cage, where Cage's character sees 3 minutes into the future, and that movie didn't do well either. I know it's a bit of a stretch to say that that's the reason why, but maybe movies like this for some reason just don't work. It didn't help this movie to have the trailer be so memeable. It looked stupid, it looked daft, it looked goofy, it was just ridiculous, which is probably why people didn't see it. Sony probably thought about putting what they thought was the best part of the movie in the trailer, but we got that. The fact that it's a non-Spider-Man Spider-Man movie could be the main reason, but the Joker movie is a non-Batman Batman movie, and that worked. So it was possible that this movie could have been successful. My main theory is, if you're a casual Marvel fan, you may not read that many comics. You may not know that many characters, and I bet a lot of people don't know who Madam Web is. According to Wikipedia, Madam Web has been around since 1980. 4 years longer than Venom, by the way. She's been in 2 animated Spider-Man series, the 1994 one and the Ultimate one in 2012. Appeared in 2 Spider-Man games, one really obscure one called Quest Probe featuring Spider-Man from 1984, and Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions that came out in 2010. So people are wondering, who the hell is this person? The same could also be said about Morbius, and why that failed. He appeared in the same animated shows as Madam Web, appeared in more video games, but his character is only DLC or an unlockable character. But I don't think he was a part of any stories in those games, and he debuted in the comics in 1971. I believe the Kraven movie will do good, mostly because he's more known than Morbius and Madam Web, and also because he was a main villain in the recent Spider-Man 2 game. I don't think it'll do as well as the Venom movies. Okay, maybe just one of them, but we'll see. Madam Web, the movie, starts with a flashback type thing of a few people looking for a specific spider. They find the spider, and the bad guy, who is called Ezekiel Sims, does the bad guy thing by shooting and killing everyone and stealing the spider. One person who got shot, though, was this woman who was pregnant. She was dying, but not died yet, anyway. You can also probably see where this is going. The woman gets found and taken away by some weird spider tribe to a secluded place and gives birth to the baby before dying. That baby turns out to be, you guessed it, Madam Web. We go to present time, that's air quotes for you, because this movie is set in 2003. I know that because it says 2003, but they also want to hammer it home by blatantly showing a Blockbuster video store in an ambulance driving shot, which Madam Web, by the way, was driving. Just to let you know that I know that Madam Web isn't her real name here, but I thought I'd call her it here because I don't think that it's ever said in the movie. You find out that Ezekiel Sims has been having dreams that he's going to be killed by 3 costume-wearing teenagers. And he knows that this isn't his dream, but a premonition. This is basically the whole movie of Sims trying to kill the 3 teens to save his own life. Sims here is the evil Spider-Man character. He's wearing a black Spider-Man-like costume that you see in the trailer, and he somehow has Spider-Man-like powers. Madam Web got her powers by, I think, surviving an accident that she had in the earlier part of the movie. And I don't think they even mentioned why the 3 teens wanted to kill Sims, and the only Spider-Man-like powers Sims had was wall crawling. I don't think he can swing around the city because it wasn't shown. And at the end of the movie, we see the teens and Web all costumed up, which I hope I can understand it enough to explain this, but it makes me think, did the teens get the costumes because of Madam Web? If so, how did they have them in the dream or premonition? Did they already meet Madam Web at this point? And if so, why wasn't she helping dispose of Sims in the dream or premonition? Why does this Sony non-Spiderman Spider-Man universe have a lot of questions with very little answers? I don't care too much about continuation in movies as long as it's not a huge continuation problem. That's why I don't hate this movie as others do, mostly because I know they'll probably never answer the questions anyway. So there's 2 ideas I have that could have made this movie or this universe good for people to want to watch it. I don't think they are plausible because idea 1 may involve characters that Sony may not have license to use, but I'm going to use them anyway because they are a part of the Spider-Man lore. And idea 2, I don't think they'd want Spider-Man to be seen like that. Anyway, here's idea 1. There are quite a few Spider-Man-like characters they could actually have used as their own universe, like Silk, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Girl, Spider-Woman, Miguel O'Hara, who is Spider-Man 2099, and even though he's a clone of Peter Parker, they could also try to get Ben Reilly as well and work around it. I would suggest Miles Morales, but he's all but confirmed to eventually appear in the MCU, so he probably won't be available to use. Introduce characters that way, then spin them off. Make prequels and sequels. Sony, you should have a bunch of Spider-Man-like characters at your disposal. If you do, use them. I'd love to see Spider-Man 2099 live-action movie. It'll probably never happen, and it'll probably be bad and be compared to Ant-Man and the Wasp's Quantumania, because it'll rely on too much green screen and CGI, so out of all of those characters, I'd suggest Ben Reilly. He's as close as Peter Parker as you can get, obviously, so you can introduce some of, or all, the other mentioned Spider-Man-like characters so you can spin them off, and also use the same villains as Spider-Man. Job's a good one. Idea 2 is to have a similar movie to Brightburn. Brightburn is a horror movie that unofficially asks what would happen if, as a kid, Superman was bad. If you took out the Madam Web name and kept everything else, you could have used the bad guy as an evil Spider-Man trying to kill these teenagers to save himself. Make it like a superhero meets Terminator 2 horror movie where Madam Web, air quoting that as well, will be like T-800 saving these teenagers from an evil Spider-Man-like character. I know that idea is a little too out there, but I think some people will like to watch that more than what Madam Web is. What do you think? Are these great ideas, or do you have better ones? Did you like Madam Web or hate it? Let us know. Thank you for joining me on Where's the Popcorn. I've been Simon Poole, and please take care.